Bada bang! Welcome back to the DJ Light Podcast.
Bow, bow.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
waiting for it.
I saw it in your eyes.
I was like, you got to do it. You got to do it. We pulled that one clip to use.
Anyways,
What's up, chat?
yeah,
Welcome
yes.
tonight.
Hello, anyone in the chat. And what David is talking about, he said, I'm here to find out if you found the edit, Erik. I've been making posts about that Ben Shapiro song. It's like number 1 on the rap charts of iTunes, and it's actually number 1 on all of iTunes right now. Obviously, I don't want that edit. I was joking, just trying to bring to light and make people freak out, and of course they did. Some dude even like commented, and I screenshotted it and I posted it, but he was like something about how it's like, oh, it's just a culture of trolls that push that to number 1. No DJ would ever play that, and a real DJ wouldn't need that explained to him. And I was like, yeah, a real DJ would have seen I was just kidding. And he fucking deleted his comment. What's up? Not much. We're following up Taco Tuesday with a podcast. And here we are. We're going to do live Q&A. The guest we had in line tonight had a stomach bug. So we no longer have a guest tonight.
So shout out Marco because he wanted to have a shout out.
Yeah, and we're supposed to shout out Marco Hernandez
From Sandy, Oregon.
And that's motherfucking Marco. MFTKN Marco.
I wasn't going to say the full one. But, yeah. How's business been?
It's, I've mentioned it lately. We're a little slower. I haven't heard that from a single other person, though. Actually, that's not true. I've heard it from a couple people, but I haven't heard it across the board, which is depressing. But we're down a little bit for this quarter so far. I think we only hit 70% of the goal that we had for January. I guess we still have another day, but that probably won't make a huge difference. How's business for you? What do you think about the new Pioneer stuff?
Trying so hard to just like weasel that one in there. Oh, there you go. Kevin mentioned it for you.
All right.
So the topic's
All
there.
right. Thank you, Kevin Sounds. I'm enjoying the off season a little bit. I guess off season for us is like grind mode, really. But okay, so what? I'm gonna read this. What up, y'all? Hope I'm not changing the subject, but Rick, major props on the Omni, whatever the heck the name of that Toys R Us Tyke's toddler controller is called. Tired of many mainstream DJs.
It's not the mainstream's DJ's fault. I'm gonna go up. Tired of so many mainstream DJs. It's not their fault that they all get the brand new controllers and they release them all at the same time. It's just more bad product on Pioneer DJ Alpha Thetas. Well, bad product combined with bad price point.
Yeah, but I can't even comment on the controller because I don't use enough controllers to hold it up next to them and give my fair opinion on the thing.
Yeah, it's just more from a marketing standpoint. Why did they choose to put $1,500 on a controller that, I don't know, it's almost like they didn't survey anybody prior to releasing it. Mm-hmm. It's just they put it together. Well, it's just more pointing out the fact that they don't take DJ's feedback. If you read through the comments on the Omnius controller, you can clearly see what DJs want in a controller. Now, that's mostly American and somewhat UK DJs over there, and the company's based in China, so what they're actually surveying, they might be surveying people over there. Who knows? It's a little tongue twister on that.
I don't know why all you DJs buy new controllers every other fucking week anyways. I've literally used the same controller.
That's another topic.
Since I was the controller that I use, I think it came out 1 or 2 years later after I started DJing. And I bought that one, and I've anytime it's broken, I've just bought a new one of that. I never upgraded.
I think if anything, this release is just pointing out the fact that they just keep trying to pump out new controllers because all you motherfuckers keep buying them. And they finally landed one that the price point and the features and the controller doesn't match what people want to some degree. But like they release a brand new Rev 5, which is basically the Rev 7 with other platters, and y'all buy the shit out of it. When you're perfectly fine with the Rev 7 you have now, or when they had the 1000 and then they released the Rev 7, everybody sold their 1000s and got a Rev 7. Not everyone, but basically to your point, why are you guys keep buying new controllers when you don't need to? When you could be spending that money on just about a million other things.
And sure, but that's to each their own.
It is
if
to
I
each
got
their own.
If I got off on buying new controllers, I'd buy fucking new controllers. I just don't.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's almost like Apple in a way. Hate to relate it to like the Apple iPhone versus like Android, but because we don't really have an Android in the DJ sphere yet, but it's almost like Pioneer releases these little features, these little updates, knowing that they can release this one tweak to the controller that you all go apeshit over, and then next year they release a little bit more and a little bit more. It's almost planned so that they keep it going.
To be fair, I would do the same thing if I was a product manufacturer.
If I was a giant corporation like that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You got yelled at for making the video.
Well, I don't even think people realize I got yelled at for making the video. It's like it's an internal conflict right now, and I think I can film a quick little reel video tomorrow and get this all patched up because it's not about the people necessarily that are releasing the videos that are all pumped out. Like they're all under NDA, so they all get the product ahead of time. It's just the amount of them that are under the NDAs. For me, that's the bigger problem. Because it's literally pretty much every single one of the top DJ-related influential channels are all under NDAs right now with Pioneer Alpha Theta. So they get all the brand new products, and then they release them all at the same time. So it gives Pioneer Alpha Theta such a big leverage point in shaping the narrative of what's new, what's hot, just by the pure fact that they give it to so many people ahead of time and they all pump out the video at the same time. Now, like you said, if I was Pioneer Alpha Theta, that's the greatest thing in the world. Me as the end consumer, though, or just a DJ owner or a DJ in general, I don't like knowing the inside scoop behind the fact that all of these people are able, like Pioneer's able to get them to all pump out the video at the exact same time. And then I also...
That's how they set it up. I mean,
it's how they set it up. But it's just
also and like I said,
unfair.
Because I am not as in the mix as I am. I'm not in the gear mix. I don't watch the people's YouTube videos. I know Nick and I know Cleveland, but it's very like I don't really know them from YouTube. You know what I mean, or whatever. It's very just in passing, and they're not like my best friends in the world. I'm not whatever. But anyways, the thing is from when I watched the video, it sounded like you were implying that they profited from what they were saying.
And maybe it's because I know there's absolutely no money in the influencer game, period, that I literally am like, oh, I wouldn't even think.
Exactly.
But that's like people thinking that I make money on my YouTube channel. Like, ridiculous. I don't make shit on YouTube. Like, we don't. And that's
I just mean even like anything, But
they're not giving you any kickbacks. None of that.
So when Cleveland and Nick or whatever, they stepped in and they said the NDA thing, and
I don't think Cleveland said anything yet, but other than he commented, but about Nick posted today about it.
But Cleveland did say something about NDA contracts. That was the contract. But in a nutshell, it's not a profitable. It's not like they got paid to
No,
say it was.
if
good.
anything, they lost money.
I think it's a misunderstanding, but how you said it, I even interpreted it that way.
Yeah. And I think that's just an overlook on my part in how I delivered the message, because I am one of those people and I'm in the sphere and I know that there's no money to be made in it. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to film a little more in detail video because literally it doesn't even occur to me that it comes off as these guys are making money off of it. It's just more that if I was in a position where Pioneer was sending me gear every year, all the new gear, I would probably not give a 1,000% authentic opinion on it. I might omit some stuff, and that's only because I've learned my lesson that they will revoke your NDA very quickly. I had a run-in with Denon back in the day. That's and I might talk about that on my video at lunch tomorrow that I filmed, but I had an NDA with Denon, and I made some comments about the original Prime 4, and the CEO didn't like it. And yeah, thankfully through Sound Switch, I'm starting to get back on a nice name basis with them to some degree, but at least on the Denon front, they don't really care to have any controller in my hand because they're afraid I'm going to say something negative about it.
That's weird too, because you'd think someone of that size would see that negative press is not negative press either,
And it was not even close to like what the video or my opinions I expressed on the Omnius Duo is like ripping something to shreds. What I expressed on their Prime 4 was like improvements. Like this can be improved, that can be improved, that can be improved. Yeah, I don't know.
Like if I shredded a thing and got the people that like me and whatnot to talk about how they also hated whatever it was because of the same shit, well, that in turn would get others to look at it and it would wind up in sales, and I'm surprised they don't think about that because like you said, everyone knows it's just an opinion. Okay. I'll try and.
Van or trailer? That's a very interesting question.
Which one? Read it aloud.
It's literally the best. David asked it. Best form of transportation for DJs: van or trailer? And if I had to give an all-around opinion on it after having a van and a trailer now, van all day long.
Well, the trailer's a whole nother entity you got to deal with.
Yeah, it's more costly.
Yeah.
It's way more cost to have a van because then you have to have a van and a personal vehicle versus a trailer. You just hitch up to it with your personal vehicle and you tow it. So, but literally a van is a fucking car and a trailer combined, basically, if you get the Ford vans or whatnot. So I'd take the van if I had the money for it, but I also like my trailer, but you have to be good at backing up a trailer. There's a whole slew of stuff that comes with a trailer.
I legitimately cannot drive with a trailer attached.
Oh.
Like, unless I'm going forward.
Driving, backing up,
chilling.
parking.
Right.
There's a storage of trailer. Like, well, I guess you got to store van
when
too.
We drove to Atlantic City, I mean,
HOA restrictions.
You had to drive the whole way,
Like, there's a whole slew of stuff that comes with a trailer versus having a van. But yeah, some of the same things, but van overall, if I were building out a DJ and money wasn't an object, I'd take the van route. If money is an object, it's just so much cheaper. Because, I mean, a van's $30,000-$40,000 all day long. Trailer, you can go pick up one for $4,000 to $6,000. And then voila, you have the same capabilities of transporting gear.
I mean, fuck.
And
the Honda Element, if you remove the back two seats,
or a minivan.
I realized, or a minivan, a cheap minivan, and I realized that's not a van, the Honda Element, but that is like a very compact car, and you could like fit a horse in that car, like a standing horse. It's fucking huge in the back. It's just like a big open square if you remove those seats. And you can get those for super cheap used.
Damn it. Oh, it's just the mic volume because you said I was...
Do what?
I was making you a little louder and I grabbed the wrong knob.
Oh, okay. All right, Rick, turn my volume up. I guess I was
Yeah,
quiet.
he was a little too quiet, and I was a little too loud. So now it's even. Voila.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Yeah, but last little thing on the Pioneer thing. I mean, they're a product company. Like, we can say like, oh, that money's better spent on marketing, and that money is better spent on XYZ. I mean, I'd rather go spend the money on some dumb shit like eating
A
out.
vacation.
Yeah, like whatever. Not even DJ business stuff. But either way, that is not the point. They're a product company. Of course, their only goal is to get you to buy their shit.
Exactly. And
Like what? Duh. I mean, you can't even.
I think the biggest problem is the price point for most people is that at $1,500 I should be getting a main DJ controller like for DJing the event, and the Omnius Duo is not meant to be your main standalone controller at your event. It's the auxiliary controller for ceremonies, for in the car, for prepping, for on the go mobile events.
Gotcha.
Like not.
So they made the Lamborghini of the
Yes.
sidecar.
Yeah, if you take like the Denon Prime Go or the Newmark Mixstream Go, those like all-in-one like portable controllers, they basically made the fucking Lamborghini of them.
Yeah, all y'all need to save your money, go buy, automate your DJ event planner, or automate your symbols.
I wasn't trying to go into the details, man. There's no streaming, key match. You guys can look into all the other features. I'm just looking at it holistically as what the controller is. It's a battery-powered standalone DJ controller that costs $1,500.
I don't know enough about nerd gear. Who gives a fuck shit? I literally, like, the Rev 7 is the most notable controller I can remember, and for obvious reasons. I don't even need to go into it. It was notable, and everyone agrees. So
A Rev 7 costs like $1,800.
I know,
And
I
this
mean,
costs $1,500.
based on
That's
what
I'm
you're
just telling
saying,
you.
let's say it was literally the shittiest controller for a gazillion dollars. That is not my point, though. My only point is that it seemed like the implication that these people were profiting for lying.
That's the internal issue by far. Most of the people in here are more talking about the controller itself and the pricing, which is basically a beat to death subject at this point. I mean, literally, just go to Pioneer's fucking Instagram. Their first 4 posts about the Omnius controller. Just read through the comments. Everybody that is commenting something negative about it. It's beat to death at this point. That people do not like the controller.
Well, maybe it'll be a fail. Like.
Yeah. My knee-jerk reaction in making the video was more to make sure that opinion was captured, that people do not like this controller. Yeah, and added some choice words in there that were not great.
Well, and
for internal YouTuber influencer commentary, which will be addressed.
Even I stepped in immediately, and I said like disrupt and like a high five emoji, some shit like that, because I'm all down.
Yeah, and I literally
it's not
what I said. Like the reason why I said contract and not NDA was also a little bit of dogging to get viral ability out of it. And it did. Like, my reels are...
For sure.
Both of those reels hit 10K in a day.
Popping off.
Like, they blew the fuck up.
Yeah. But, if people are offended and whatnot, I think it was just a misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And I can see why it was misunderstood. You know what I mean? That's all.
It'll be addressed. We'll take care of it tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. I've said worse things.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
By far.
It's not that big of a deal. Blah.
You opened a can of worms by talking about DJ controllers.
Yeah.
That's everybody's going to be talking about.
I know. Well, I kind of got thrown for a loop. I thought we were going to do the one thing, and now
we
we're not.
both did, and then we last minute were like, yo, Q&A. So, hey, J Book, Kevin Sounds, all you people in the chat, throw some topics at us. What we got? What would be the next move for Pioneer if there were a new controller? Oh, God. So, see, I told you we opened again. No, let's see. Next move for Pioneer.
The next thing that needs to come out for some innovation
It
shit,
needs to be AI or something.
DJ furniture is what needs to be upgraded. So all the DJ furniture currently is super bulky, and you have to have a van to whatever. They need to figure out how to fold a fucking little DJ podium up so tiny where it fits in, a flight case that can fit in a normal person's 4-door car.
Well, I have a video coming out on how you can do that.
With what?
The T-top table.
What is that?
You just wait on the video.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's the Pro X fold-up collapsible. It like folds up into a road case, but then it folds out into a T-top table. And it's all black, clean, nice.
Oh,
and
but that thing's a piece of ugly shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pretty-ass DJ furniture.
But,
I used to own one. I know the Odyssey Pro X version, but it's like a turntable.
You should
case
agree.
Thing.
You should agree. No, not the turntable.
I mean, not. It's like
a table.
fold-out table that has a front thing on it. And it folds up, and it's about the size of a fold-up table.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you of all people should agree. We put an LED sign on the front of it. And what two brides are going to notice the difference between an all-white podium setup and that? Or even an all-black podium setup and that? They both have the DJ aspect visible because the controller just sits on top of it. It's all black. I mean,
you're not wrong.
The aesthetic is the same.
I would just rather have a literal fold-out table, like a 4-foot fold-up table on Amazon, and a shitty facade in front of it, because the look is the same, but that breaks in half and it's lighter that way. That table is super heavy. I know it is.
I don't know. All I know is that Pro X table costs $300.
Yeah.
And for a DJ, this is talking about functionality now as a DJ. Most DJs like to have hobby shit where they do, bar club, or maybe they go do like a 4K run or something like that. And the current problem with the DJ furniture, if you buy a piece, is that your hardware is like integrated into that bitch. Like it's in it. Mm-hmm. So you got to transport that whole thing to your events. Mm-hmm. So my setup keeps the single road case for your DJ console good to go wherever you want. And then when you want to look like a T-top or a podium booth, you just set it on top of that table. Boom. Now you look like a Bun booth. You look like a Max booth. Not to say that this is a completely different category to have those and everything, but the look to the client is the same, in my opinion.
It maybe
to the average client.
What I'm talking about has not been done yet.
No, and I don't think it ever will be.
It's got to be. It will be. It will be, and it will take off. The first person to figure it out, it will take off, because I'm here to tell you right now, I will buy 20 of them the first time I see them.
Here's the biggest problem, and it's the problem with the current DJ booths, and it's the problem with mine, is the fact that you have to build something that can protect that controller.
Right. It needs to be in the flight, sure. But even if the solution was, there is none of that shit in it. It's just a pretty piece of furniture that you set your controller on top. If that's the solution, then so be it. I don't need all this pre-wired shit, Like, I like it, but I don't have to have that. I could set a controller on top, plug it into my speaker and my laptop. You're
not wrong. You're not wrong in the fact that could be something they create. It's just, for me, here's why no one has been able to create it, because the guys that are making the furniture booth need to justify the cost. Mm-hmm. So when they justify the cost by basically saying it's an all-in-one rack, you can build out all your shit so that you just plug in 2 plugs and good to go, that's how they're able to over-justify the cost in a way.
I mean, I would pay the same price for what I'm talking about. I just don't, it would work better.
Well, what you're talking about is just put a fucking scrim on a fold up table.
Yes, technically that's the best thing I can think of, but someone is, Danny Max, he's a genius with that stuff. I bet you anything he could come up with something, that was high quality, foldable, and just did exactly what we're talking about.
I don't know. It's I don't know if I don't think it'll ever come to fruition. But
right now it's 2 flight cases roughly the size of an entire door, so of course you have to have a van to do that, Scanning the chat, 2 seconds.
Oh, that was what we were talking about. Thoughts on the Bun Max booth versus custom DJ booth.
Yeah. I mean, the Bun booth and the Max booth are like the top 2. As for preferences, it's just they're different. Max booth is lighter and it comes apart. I've never owned a Bun booth, so I can't really compare. I know it's like made of metal.
Yeah, aluminum.
So it's probably
versus wood.
You could probably kick it harder,
I hit mine with a sledgehammer in the video.
Yeah. They're like the top 2 things unless you build your own.
Which is what he's saying, like thoughts on Bun Max versus custom. It's a very short discussion. Bun Max booth, already done, built out, has the cases, you're all good to go. Custom and expensive. Custom booth, cheaper, but you got to build the thing.
Yeah, and good luck.
And then you got to build the case. Yeah. And then you have to figure out how to transport it. And like
for me, it was far from worth the cost to build a custom because I'm not like that. Rick is like that. And Rick is more than happy to go do some DIY build project. You just couldn't. I just would rather pay the money and not do that.
Yep.
We don't ever use the DJ furniture. We upcharge like crazy for it. We might use it once a month. But typically people are booking our not DJ furniture packages.
So J Book asked a couple questions here, but wedding goals for next month. And will you have all the are you talking about my wedding?
My wedding goal for February is to just DJ a wedding in February. I feel like if we do any, it's like
that's
lucky.
Honestly that's been a thing almost every year though. It's like February is so dead.
Nick Spinelli's about to make more than my entire multi-op in February.
Well, he's paid in full ahead of time. So.
So no, he's not actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was already paid for. Yeah, no, I agree with you. If anything, on the company side, is if we can keep our same current booking rate, I will be blown the fuck away. We haven't doubled our highest ever month ever, but we are damn close to booking or having them almost double the most amount of bookings we've ever done in a month this month, which is pretty insane. I said our marketing is firing on all cylinders, and there's the best thing I can come up with for why it is. But I haven't really looked at the numbers too closely as to where these leads said they were coming from.
It's tough because a lead, they don't even always know where they found you. Like they're looking at you on the Knot and Wedding Wire and Google, and it's like, well, which one did I find you first on? I don't know.
Well, and the odds of them actually paying attention to the company name.
Yeah, I mean,
and remembering which one. I saw one of them.
Yeah, and I have software and shit set up to kind of where they don't have to tell you and it tells you. But even that, you still never know. At least not exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's, but yeah.
But we're down, like I said. It's not catastrophic, but we are down. Technically we're for the gigs that we book off of Wedding Wire and the Knot, we're down. Now we're not down in total because we also are on vendor agreements with like venues that just hand us gigs, and I don't count those in our numbers because they're like free bookings. They're not deals we're closing. We're just getting handed the gigs, so I don't count those in these numbers. So technically overall we're not down, but if you're looking at just like online bookings, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks and makes me want to punch things.
To answer J Book's question, though, in terms of my wedding, because he wants to know the details, because the motherfucker's coming to the wedding. I believe he's actually sitting at your table, too, Erik.
Good. Hell yeah. Let's do it.
The seating chart's a fluid thing right now. But I'm actually not bringing out all the toys. We're not going to have a lot of toys there. Mostly because it doesn't really, I don't know. I'm not a fan of, like, throwing balls to the wall, like, every last little bit of gear I can bring out, because I don't think it fits the aesthetic. That's weird for me to say. That sounded weird coming out of my mouth now that I hear it back to myself. But I care about what it looks like more than what all is there. I care more about the functionality. So we'll have a couple totems. We might use gravity stands instead of totems, though. But we'll have a couple movers. We're only having just two movers. We'll have 4 tubes. Nothing crazy again. 4 tubes, 2 movers, shitload of uplights, because you can never have too many uplights.
Uplights are different.
Yeah, you can never have too many uplights.
Yeah, they're not DJ. I mean, they are DJ toys, but tubes are DJ toys.
I think the most extravagant thing we're doing is we're doing a lot of pipe and drape to separate out the rooms. And we're going to do a 4-speaker surround sound for even sound coverage throughout the room, which is going to be kind of cool. But outside of that, we're hanging like 20 twinkle stars from the ceiling, like LED stars that twinkle and shit. That's probably the most extravagant thing we're doing, is just hanging a bunch of stars from the ceiling. But that'll take like roughly like maybe an hour to put up. But outside of that, I mean, other than Nick potentially coming to DJ my wedding at this point.
Yeah, right. It might say fuck off. Do we do Monday or Thursday weddings? Do we discount those off days?
Mm-hmm.
I personally do, because we have so many DJs and we are all willing to fight that price battle for those days. Someone like Nick Spinelli probably doesn't. I don't really know.
Someone in that market, in the Jersey market, probably won't.
Well, someone like Nick, who's like, I'll call it a celebrity type DJ, you know, who's getting booked because he's fucking Nick Spinelli. He's not getting booked because I don't even know what the other, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, we discount everything but Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, we have flex pricing, probably similar to what Erik has, where depending on the time of the year you're getting married, depending on how close it is to said date, and depending on what day of the week it is, you might get $100 off. You might get a few $100s off. It really depends. Like, how likely am I to book that DJ?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a very low likelihood and you want to negotiate, you'll probably get the negotiation. If you want an October Saturday that I know 1,000% every DJ is going to be booked on, there ain't a single fucking discount to be had.
Yeah, we don't do any discounts on those dates. We actually don't even do our minimum package. You have to get one of our upper packages to even book us on those dates.
That's funny. I didn't think about all that. That's interesting. Oh, fun story. So Jordan's our newest DJ, and I was shocked to find that he literally, in terms of money, he's brought in talent fees, which is the same across all DJs except for myself. Last year was his first year, and he was like the 3rd highest paid DJ out of the group, which was like, I have guys that have been in the company for 3 years that were getting less money, which is less bookings, than him. But then the funnier thing, going into this year, he's going to make more money than any other DJ on our staff.
Well, he's working more jobs.
Yeah, but
you're including
he's getting requested more. Is what I'm trying to say, is like, he's gone from like being the newest DJ to like the highest requested DJ, and he has 2 weddings coming up this year that are record-breaking amounts.
Yeah.
One is $6,300 right now, and the other one's like $6,800. Just the prior to that, the highest paid wedding was my personal, or one that I've done myself, which was $5,500.
We've never broken 42. I don't think. I think that's the highest we've ever gone. It's like 4,200 for a single booking.
our average is blowing my mind right now at what we're booking. We're booking like 3.2 is our average booking right now.
3.2.
Okay, $3,200.
Oh, okay.
That's our average booking rate right now.
That's really high. That's much, 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 much higher than mine.
It blew my mind. I didn't think it went up that much, but it did.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hopefully, we will soon all be driving Lamborghinis. That's all I ever wanted.
You can drive your Lamborghini. I'm building out an Audi R8, which is a Lamborghini Huracan technically, but
is it?
It's the same power plant as the Lamborghini Huracan.
See, if I were presented, I can drive a Lamborghini or R8, you said?
Yeah, the Iron Man car.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I would choose a Lamborghini all day because just it's a Lamborghini. Like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even. Literally no more details need to come into the equation. I don't care if that car is faster. I want the Lamborghini.
It's not faster.
Hey, but you get my point. Even if it was faster, I don't give a fuck.
You're getting it for it's. Well, this goes to why
I'm trying to flex.
I was about to say, this is why you drive a matte red wrapped Tesla Model 3.
It's the cheapest way I could get into a flex.
Anyway, my whole reason is I could care less for the flex. Uh-huh. The biggest thing for me is so a Lamborghini Huracan costs $300,000. That's in the ballpark. The exact same powertrain, like same transmission, same engine, same wheels, brakes, everything. Just the Audi R8 is the exact same as the Lamborghini Huracan, except it costs $170,000.
Yeah, but I mean, are we just going for performance here, or why the R8 though?
More comfortable. So it comes with it's a more luxury. Imagine Lexus versus Toyota.
Okay, so you want it because it's comfortable.
It's more comfortable. You actually have cup holders. You don't have any cup holders in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's a supercar.
Well, then now we're talking performance.
If a motherfucker brought a Mountain Dew into my Lamborghini, I'd be like, get the fuck out. I'd immediately be like, you bring a soda bottle into my car? Like, look at this car. It is lime green, you idiot. Get out of this car.
Every time I get in your Tesla, you have a drink in the cup holder, though.
That's because my Tesla's a piece of shit. That's not the same. My Tesla was like $40,000. No one cares about that.
How are you going to take a coffee, though, in the morning, get in your Lamborghini, and go anywhere?
You're not.
That's my point.
You're not. You don't drive a Lamborghini. It's not your A to B. It is your dick, I'm rich car.
What are you talking about? If I had a Lamborghini, I would want to drive it every day for the flex.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll take an Audi R8 because it's still a flex, if you know, which is more what I care about. I don't care about the random people that don't. I will care about the car enthusiasts that are like, that's a fucking dope car.
Well, until you get just like Ferrari club shit, you don't ever win those conversations.
One of my, let's just say, older friends that I know, she was my realtor, but her husband has done very, very well since moving here from a foreign country. And in their dream home in the basement, which they have kind of like when you have the garage around the back in your new home, he had a window installed to look into his garage and see his Ferrari sitting on one of the turntables.
Yeah.
So when you're in his basement having a drink at his bar or playing pool, you look over in the garage, you see his Ferrari just spinning.
I was looking at this Instagram post from that Wealth app. I'm always sharing shit from that. And awesome Instagram account, by the way.
It is.
But it was like, the top 5... luxury homes owned by billionaires or whatever. And number 4, I believe, was Bill Gates. I can't remember, but it was Bill Gates, and he had some crazy fucking whatever he had. And then, and that was the number 2. But the number 1, I had never even heard of the guy. And his garage for his, it was like a $60 billion home or something. It was just so much above Bill Gates. And he had a 600-car garage, though, in his home.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool.
You ever seen Jay Leno's garage?
No. I know he has a Cybertruck, though.
He's got a whole fucking like series on TV. It's called Jay Leno's Garage, and like he goes through all of his fucking cars. He's got like 400 or something.
I'm sure he does. Well, he's probably turned it into a career to own a bunch of cars.
Well, yeah, most people that go down that route do.
Yeah,
if they have more than like 5.
I would. I was researching for like a couple months after I met Mark Pizzella, Fayetteville multi-op. But he flips Lamborghinis. It's like a side fun hustle that he does. So he always has a fresh brand new Lamborghini though. And I was like, wow, that's so smart to turn it into a little business, even if you only make chump change on it, but that way you get to have a Lamborghini, you know?
Kind of like what I was talking about, the buying a C8 but then putting it straight on Toro. So that Toro pays for the damn payments on the
I'm
C8.
also just like the world's shittiest driver. I would never actually trust myself to drive a $300,000+ car.
Which makes sense why you wouldn't need a cup holder.
Yeah, right. So if we were to take money out of the equation, what is actually your guys' favorite type of event to DJ? Mine are birthday parties, personally. I've said it a million times. I really like to DJ emo nights. I actually didn't get to do this year's emo night, and so I normally do one a year, but that is not true this year. But I have a blast because that is the type of music that I was raised on, and I'm really good at DJing emo nights.
Mine's actually a wedding. I literally would not put any, even like the festivals, the concerts I've DJ'd in for, I get more enjoyment out of weddings, specifically a wedding that matches my ideal music type, where I get to play a lot of 2010 hip hop with EDM edits mixed in throughout, and like being able to go down the early 2000s, Alesso, Calvin Harris, all that shit in my set. So, and I've had probably 20 plus weddings that have met that criteria, even more nowadays, since charging more and more pushing what it is I like to DJ and getting couples that match that vibe. Yeah, you give me a wedding that has like 150 solid people that are down to hear that shit. That's my favorite thing to DJ, period.
Anytime the crowd is into it, that would be the ideal scenario. You know, I'm having fun if everyone else is having fun for me DJing.
I am, but like it depends on what I'm playing. Because like if the crowd is like just fucking losing it, having a blast to country music,
that's not quite the same. Yeah, you're right. I have to kind of like the music.
Well, for me, it's like I have to be able to do creativity stuff with the mixing. Like if I'm doing country, for the most part, I'm literally just... like if it's like Hank Williams Jr. and stuff like that,
right? You're not beat matching, volume fade quickly, if anything. But
you're not doing stem shit. Which you haven't played with stems before, have you?
No.
I just finally got that new laptop at New Year's that can do stems, and let me tell you,
crazy.
It is very eye opening. They're 1,000% correct. Where it's honestly overwhelming the amount of possibilities when you can just like acapella instant, instrumental instant.
Well, I probably honestly would be pretty good at DJing if I had that, but whatever. It's fine.
To the average ear, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. But like, I literally, the last 3 times I've been doing it and playing with stems, I'm like, you're an awful fucking DJ. Because like, I'm just fucking it up. Like
I would have to practice using Serato or virtual, like whatever it's on.
Serato.
For a while.
Virtual has it too.
Before I could even do anything, because I'm used to DJing with Traktor.
I think Traktor has a version too as well.
Doesn't.
They don't?
Not yet. Not that
It's
I'm aware
coming
of,
in.
at least. Yeah, I'm sure, but
You getting white? No, fuck no.
I have the Maui 28s.
I'm a big proponent to not wanting white speakers.
Really? I think they're beautiful.
I pretty much I know.
I think they're so nice.
And the DJs in my company give me shit about it because I've pretty much gone to an all white setup with like the booth, the totems, the movers are now white. We've actually got rid of all of our black movers altogether, except for some big boy ones we just got in. But like for me, I live and die by the statement that audio is meant to be heard, not seen.
Those speakers aren't like up in your face though.
Well, when you make it white, you're implying that the speaker needs to be seen. Is my opinion on it.
Well, those
in
are
a dark night,
those are some really good, pretty speakers. That's
dark
for sure.
dark room, black speakers always fade away. Even in a dark room, white speakers stand out. And daytime, that's a whole nother subject because if the room is really white, then the black speakers stand out. And what? That's a little caveat, but yeah, no. White speak, and also you have to clean them. That's like the biggest pain in the ass to me is that you have to constantly clean them.
I'm just gonna let mine look like shit.
I couldn't
personally, but
I already have to clean my DJ setup every fucking time I take
I don't
it
think
anywhere.
I've ever cleaned a piece of DJ gear, not once.
Oh, dude, I used to college clubs and festivals and shit. You used to literally fill up a 5-gallon bucket full of Dawn dish soap and hot water, and literally on the subwoofers just fucking scrubbing them with like just big ass sponges and shit.
Not me.
Taking the grills off and power washing the grills. Yeah, speakers surprisingly are very robust and can take a lot of water.
You want to see it grills?
Yeah, would be so paranoid. Absolutely. That's another thing right there. Like I've been getting less and less outdoor events, but like if I took our company at face value, all the events, I want to say 30-40% of those are outdoor events, whether they're under a tent or a pavilion. Or I would even consider a barn to be an outdoor event, but 30 to 40% are they're going to get dirty to some degree. The 50 to 60% of them indoor event where it's a nice clean hall and there's no chance that the dirt's going to get on them.
I mean, yeah, if I were to rewind, I would go all black because of what you're talking about. And also just I would never use DJ furniture that can't get dirty in dirty situations, like country clubs only. Yeah, what's up?
DJ Trick, what's y'all's process to find new DJs and bring on experienced DJs? Well, you've done it, and I'm about to start doing it. So,
go ahead.
Well, you're the one that's done it.
Well, what are you doing? What are you about to start doing?
Well, we use a software called Hiring Steps, and basically it's just the job posting software. Basically, it's one interface, almost like a CRM for posting on like ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, Monster, all those that you can post at once to all of those softwares. And then the part I love is that it builds in, so once someone submits their application, literally the next day the software automatically emails them. It's like in the software to video record like answers to like 3 specific questions we give. So it screens them basically. So it's a whole process of screening, and it allows us to screen people down very quickly. And we did this for hiring our administration person for the Holiday Light side. But like, the initial applicants that come in, if they don't fucking submit the video interview, I don't care. You're gone. Like you didn't put any effort in.
Right.
So you don't care. Then I watch for the video ones, and oh my God, you can quickly delete a lot of people by watching video interviews. You can instantly tell their confidence level. You can tell if they're good at bullshitting or not, which could be an aspect you're looking for.
It's an asset. If you are good at bullshitting,
you're a salesperson right there.
It's just, that's an asset.
And that's like, so after you do that, you pick out your top 10 to 20 people, you throw them into a group interview of sorts. That's kind of our plans. So we're going to pull out the top 10 to 20 people that we want to see in person. You can do a video online interview if you wanted to via Zoom, but we're actually going to invite them all out to the workshop space. And then there's going to be a test right there. We're going to tell them all they have to show up by like 1 p.m. on a Sunday. If you show up at any fucking time after 1 p.m., you're gone because you're late to the event. And, we might give them a little hint that you better show the fuck up early. Like basically telling them, we open at 9 a.m., you have to be here by 1 p.m., and you better be here by 1 p.m. Just something like that. And then once they all get in there, kind of the current plan is, we want to do like some sort of icebreaker to some degree, like lay out a bunch of DJ gear and just tell them all right, work as a team and figure out how to set it all up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there'll be people that have experience, people that don't have experience. So we can kind of watch and observe their characteristics. Are they good at giving direction to people? Do they crack under pressure? That sort of stuff. And you can learn a lot of traits out of people by putting them into like an icebreaker situation like that. So once they go through that, it would just basically be an icebreaker. Well, actually, I think before we do that, we're going to basically do a quick here's the company. Here's what all we have to offer. Here's what our company does. Here's our pay structure. Here's how we're structured to do this and that. Here's our motto. Here's our culture. Here's our core values. Here's all the mission, vision statements, which are cheesy to some degree, but they actually are very important when you run a company, as I've learned. But yeah, after that, we'll ask them all the cheesy interview questions, let them go one by one, answer all the cheesy interview questions.
Mm-hmm.
Then kick them out and discuss who we like, who we don't like. But in terms of finding people, we're using hiring steps and then my social influence, and we're also marketing, advertising it. We actually got an ad campaign we're putting dollars behind on Facebook and Instagram to basically tell people we're hiring. So look at the bling on Rick's wrist. Aaron joined in at the perfect timing as always. Aaron, I'll let you guess how much this thing costs. It might look like it's expensive. I'll just leave it at that. But let me just tell you, it ain't no Omnius Duo. Let me tell you that much. $8. No, it's more than that. When hiring a contractor DJ, do you have them sign a contract?
Nope.
Well, you can't. So there's that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't anyway.
What is a contract? Is it an NDA? Is it a...
Right. Well, okay.
You can't have them sign a non-compete.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, you know, if they sign a contract, if they don't sign a contract, if they fuck you over,
they're dead to you. I mean,
they're
never
dead to me regardless. I'm not coming after them in court. None of it matters. It would be a lie on all ends. It's a handshake of an agreement. And this is just me. I mean, I know plenty of people that disagree with what I'm saying and are very successful with the opposite opinion. But that's just me. No contracts like that.
So on a side question, have you dug into the new labor laws?
I mean, yeah, I've read all the articles and it's pretty straightforward seeming.
I mean, that was my drawn conclusion. There's ways around it, but it's like it's a lot of loophole, a lot of shit you got to put in place to get around it.
I'm pretty much just going to have to talk to my DJs. I know the ones that are not going to have any problems. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, W2 me, I don't care.
Yeah, they want to go back to it.
Yeah, but then there are going to be dudes that are going to be like, wait a second. And of course, like if you don't want a W2, I don't want you to have a W2. It's more expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like it fucks me over if anything, but you have to like, don't you? I guess you have to have your own insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then that's a W2.
Well, you can have blanket insurance over, or wait, what?
Like, let's say a DJ, a subcontractor, does not have their own insurance because they're not a real event DJ. You
Correct.
know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I can't give them insurance.
You can have blanket insurance over them.
For them, yeah.
You can have blanket liability insurance over them because they are acting as a subcontractor on behalf of your company.
It really sucks.
It's
that this is such a gray area.
Everything's a fucking gray area.
All of that.
It's so bullshit.
You know how like there's IRS memes and it's like, and it's like IRS. It's like, how much you gonna give me? And you're like, why don't you just tell me how much? And they're like, gotta guess. And then you guess, and then they're like, nope, jail. And it's true. It's like, what the fuck? Why do I need to figure out how much I need to owe you? And then if I'm wrong, I'm at fault. What the fuck off?
What was it? Do you know the guy on YouTube, Graham Stephan? He like does a bunch of credit cards and financial videos and stuff. He's like, welcome back, guys. It's Graham. And then he goes through whatever. He started like a coffee company at one point. Anyways, he was talking about, he grew like a YouTube channel through talking about real estate investing and credit cards and stuff like that. And I saw it on a reel today. Literally, he was like the more I've been in business, the more money I've made, and the more things I've had, taxes and stuff like that, the more I realize it's all a fucking gray area to 90% of it, and it's all who can argue and negotiate the point. If you can argue and negotiate that it's in the gray area, you win. If you can't, then you lose. Like, that's pretty much, and basically he was saying, like, you can write off literally anything. Anything you can think of, there is a way and a loophole in the tax code to be able to write it off some way. You just got to be able to argue that point to be valid. Mm-hmm. And it's so fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, this year I'm going to switch the people. The one thing I can't argue, if the majority of your income, if you are financially dependent on me, you're a W-2 employee now. And those are the people that I plan to switch. I don't plan to switch anyone else yet.
The part that got me when I was reading through it was that the definition of subcontractor versus employee is a subcontractor needs to be able to set his own rate. That was one of the ones that defines if they cannot set their own rate, they're an employee.
That is what they're doing, though, with us setting a rate for me. Now, I previously state the rate that I'm okay with, and you're accepting it. So
like I was thinking, an easy way to prove around that is that you have the DJ draft up a contract that's sent to Dow Oak saying, I will work for you for this many events if you pay me this amount, and then it's signed, and then voila, that area of gray is taken care of. But the problem is just how many gray areas there are. And if you just switch, so what we're referring to, if you guys want to look at, do you remember what that thing's actually called? Like what I told you to Google. There's a new set of basically labor laws going into place as of March of 2024.
It's federal, right?
It's federal laws that redefine what is an employee and what is a subcontractor. And that's about all that we can really say about it, because it's like such a gray topic like we're talking about. Like the news articles talk heavily about how this can affect DoorDash and Uber and Lyft, but Uber's came out and said that it doesn't apply to them. It's not going to matter. But basically, it's in a summary, all the labor laws that are in California are now going to apply to practically all the federal.
Not quite.
Not all of
Let's
it.
not
all,
say
okay.
Because holy fuck, that would be different. That's crazy.
And kind of like what I told you.
I don't know how. I don't know why anyone lives in California.
It's all going to come
crazy to me that people live there.
Even this piece of legislation that's going to go into place, it's all going to come down to if they enforce it.
Right. Of course.
If they actually enforce it, like any little piece of a legislation or law or anything, if they enforce it, then people will have to abide by it. It's like speeding, following the speed limit on the highway. If you're in a state that enforces it heavily, then you have to drive the speed limit. If you're in a state like California or South Carolina that Florida and they don't give a shit,
I think if I did nothing at all,
that
it would be fine.
It would all come down to if you get audited.
Right, exactly. The only reason I'm even switching these few is just, why not? You know, I may as well be safe. And like the day I get fined and screwed, like what happened to Mary, it'll be substantially less.
Yeah.
You know.
Mary, and she got it multiple times from her story, which is crazy.
Yeah, but you know, I think she said it was like a $30,000 fine.
Both times were like 30-something thousand. Yeah, both times.
I feel like I would profit more from doing it wrong. I would probably make more than $60. That would be worth it, in my opinion.
That's the gamble you take.
You get my point. It's you probably made $100,000 in extra revenue that you wouldn't have made.
You remember the conversation?
So now you're profiting $40,000 because of this illegal activity.
Remember the conversation we had back around November when I got a call from the city of Greensboro about my holiday light yard signs. Someone called and complained. They basically said, you have 7 days notice to get rid of all the signs in the city of Greensboro, and every sign we find is going to be a $50 fine. And I added it up real quick. I was like, if they found every single sign I put out there, I'd get about a $3,000 bill. Was the marketing worth it?
Right. Yeah, right.
Was the marketing worth it? Because if I say those signs that are out there generate me $100,000 in revenue,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
It's a small expense
I'll pay
to
the fee for you.
Right.
And it's basically that's the same sort of principle we're talking about. It's gray area, it's laws, it's fun.
Right. And obviously I'm not 100% sure on what I just said. I just would imagine that
Well,
you actually did come out a little bit on
Did you
top.
actually find the full legislation?
No.
Okay,
I'm not
found
smart
it.
enough.
Okay.
I literally
Okay, let me just tell you, I found it and I started reading and I instantly gave up because it's like 500
That's
pages.
what I'm saying. I have it on my notes to contact a labor law lawyer to ask about it. I've then updated my game plan to just wing it. I'm going to do the bare minimum that has been laid out via Google and then nothing else, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because if they start to enforce it, man, a lot of multi-apps are going to be.
everything.
Well, I'm not worried about you.
Yeah, it's not a big deal to change it come that day, but I just don't believe it.
If anything, maybe some of these lower companies will actually start charging decent money,
I could talk about
and then we can all raise our prices.
I know. I could talk about that all day, but we'll save it.
But anyways, well, been a very random, sporadic Q&A session, mostly because you guys lacked on questions. But I will say we didn't say this was going to be a Q&A session until like 3 o'clock today, so didn't really give much time to let people know we were doing Q&As. But anyways, that's tonight's podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And to answer Aaron's question, this is like a $200 watch.
By the way, I have said F you, Aaron, like 8 times in the chat, and I guess YouTube just blocks it when you cuss at people in the chat. So,
they do.
So,
fuck you, Aaron.
Aaron.
And that's how we're going to end tonight. Fuck you, Aaron. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We're back next week with Drew and Fuse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Drew and Fuse show collides with the DJ Life podcast. That's going to be one for you guys are not going to miss that one.
That's a mashup that y'all can listen to.
The mashup of the top 2 DJ podcasts probably that are actively producing right now.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know of anybody else right now.
I don't know. I don't keep up, so I have no idea.
Either. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Like, comment, subscribe, and good night.